not that great when the Searing Chains has a 2-second cooldown.
And it's also not a save against Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah. It removes the first Will-O-Wisp, right? Like, it will remove the one that's on you.
I think it just reapplies itself after 0.1 second.
No. Wait, really?
I thought so.
Oh, I actually don't know. So I
thought it was a continuous disable.
I thought it was like a flicker that activated
maybe you're
and
right.
pulled you, like an Ether Remnant type thing. I actually should check that. I really don't know. That's something important to know, honestly. Maybe Twitch chat, somebody can tweet me, about that one to save me that 30 seconds of my own time. As we
going again, the test client. You trust Twitch chat and Twitter?
Yeah, if they were
demoing.
Yeah, if someone goes out of their way to troll me, that'd be more impressive than anything.
All right, what control do we need for this Storm Spirit?
Some kind of 4 position for
Shaker, maybe?
Skin. Yeah, shake tiny a lot. That isn't maybe
tiny can be annoying.
Control, but
yeah,
definitely
it can be annoying.
annoying.
Yeah, the avalanche, you're not able to ball lightning out of that avalanche. So heroes like Anti-Mage and Storm, who have like cast animations on their mobility spells, they are effectively stunned for the entire duration of the avalanche. Yeah, they go Shaker. Okay, I like that pick better. It's just good counter initiation, goes well with the coddle, probably secures your offlaner who's going to get counterpicked, and they immediately go for the Skywrath Mage. I think there's a reason we don't see this hero. It is a pretty standard combo with Legion Commander, though. And obviously the whatever you call it. What's the ult called?
Mystic Flare.
Mystic Flare onto the dual target.
That combination works with Storm Spirit as well, because the range at which you can cast it works pretty nicely with Storm Spirit.
What is the range, Cap?
Really long.
1200.
Is this like a grand answer?
That was way too confident.
Yeah,
that was a grand answer for sure.
That's not actually the truth. So they are putting Ember safe lane. Okay, so they are putting Ember safe, and Storm, I think is like a somewhat even matchup, but if they are comfortable picking like the Huskars or the Razors, you could easily go for those type of matchups. Razor not so great against the Coddle because he breaks the link with Blinding Light, but maybe Viper too? You have a lot of catch on Team Liquid. I think you can prioritize just shutting down the TA in whatever way they deem effective.
What was the first hero you were saying? Sorry.
You mentioned Huskar.
Yeah, Huskar. Okay. Just something.
I like Huskar because it gives you like a win condition. You take Roche, you snowball. I think Viper to me is just like, yeah, you might win your lane, but then you have
no objective Viper, taking with Viper, Storm, Legion. That is certainly a problem. It really depends on what Alliance picks last for the off lane, because you might just have a way better counter pick in the safe lane than you do mid. And Storm does absolutely fine against TA. I think that's a skill-based matchup that's about 50-50. Maybe Blitz will be able to tell us when they start casting. One of the few heroes he actually knows something about, the Storm Spirit. Just kidding, Blitz. Kind of.
The guy buys you smoothies.
Blitz is actually a really great guy. Well, I hope everyone knows I'm just joking.
Plus, you have to be careful because you're about to give up your time, and Blitz is going to have 50 minutes plus of saying whatever he wants about you.
This is true.
He gets his platform.
Shoot your shot, sir. They do ban. Go for the Prophet of the Natures.
Okay.
Troll Warlord, I like a lot for Team Liquid. You have the Legion press the attack. Yes, it looks like a good BKB game, so you need a core that buys one. It's either Troll or Gyro that really stand out to me here.
Well, if you want to play fast, Gyrocopter with Legion Commander, that's a duo that we've seen a lot in the past. Just a lot of run at Udota.
Could they even run it back and just pick the Lone Druid again?
You could. I think you could have a really good counter pick to the offline Nature's Prophet. I think Storm would really struggle if you put him safe on. And
second pick.
That is not the ideal hero for me against TA Nature's Prophet. The single target physical from TA is quite good against lifesteal. I also haven't seen this hero very much. His win rate in pubs especially dropped a lot.
They felt quite rushed with the pick. Like, it got down right to 0. It is a Storm lifestealer, so they probably had a few options, but it seemed like they wanted to think about it more before picking.
So here's a perfect example of a test of my theory. Is I think Alliance's draft is far better this game comparatively as it was last game, and let's just see how big of a difference it makes.
Guts, you agree?
I agree, and I think Alliance is going to take a game 3. Limson, his TA, it's his best hero in my mind, and I do not like playing Lifestealer into TA, just into these heroes in general. It feels like a pretty rough Lifestealer game. It's not an amazing lane either, so we'll favor Alliance here.
Yeah, a lot of damage and kill threat both ways, so whatever team wins, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty obvious who's winning at like 15 minutes into the game.
All right, so the second game is an experiment for us. Is it about the draft or is it about the play? We'll see game 2 with Grant and Blitz.
Indeed, hello friends, game number 2 upon us, Liquid versus Alliance. Very dominating performance from Liquid game number 1, but it sounds like and looks like we might have a little bit of an outdraft from Alliance. Do you agree, Blitz?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alliance can win this game. Because I don't see how Liquid ever fights them. I think it's the problem. Like, I think this is going to be a really value Will-O-the-Wisp game. I think their team fight is better. I think their laning phase might be better on the side of Alliance. Like, I'm kind of hard-pressed to see how my boys are going to do it, if I'm honest.
But hey, this is pressure makes diamonds or something, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. So I guess we'll see if you've got some diamonds in the rough or if it will indeed go to a game number 3. You see the odds right there. Still being favored. I'm actually surprised it didn't change too much after that game 1 because I believe these happened before draft. And, you know, I thought Liquid it could have been odds on, but
now
still about to see what Liquid can do with this draft because, you know, you're going to have a TA and then that Coddle Ember. You got super low cooldowns running at you, Blitz.
I think so, too. I think Coddle Ember might be broken, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think Ember's really good right now, and I think Coddle's really good right now. I haven't seen Ember lose very many games, and I haven't seen Coddle lose many games. We'll see how good of a Coddle Zibe is.
Yeah.
He's going to go for the other rune, in fact.
You've got to be. Skyroth is a pretty scary. He's going to push him away. You got to be ready, Tiger. Yep, there's the push away. He'll steal it.
Zibe is probably going to just run away from this.
Yeah. Skills W first, and he will just back up. So it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade, it looks like, as long as they go and pick up their other rune on Alliance.
I don't love this Lifestealer pick. I think the reason why this hero is never seen anymore.
And what was that?
Kind of meh laning. Doesn't really scale like as quickly as it used to anymore. Base stats were lower too.
In that middle lane, it is going to be a TA versus Storm, and obviously, I know you've been in bed since you played Storm, but BSJ said it's pretty even. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think TA out-farms you like pretty quickly, and Limp TA is like really good.
He's a beast on that hero. Top lane, it is Earthshaker as well as Nature's Prophet going up against the Crystal main as well as that Lifestealer.
He's gonna kind of crush right now. Like, he's tanked every single sideboard hit.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. You don't want to lose your healing cells. Really well. At least he gets it almost all the way off there. And nice farming under the tower there from him. As they trade hits back and forth. Bottom lane, the other lane. Look at that Ember Spear Coddle we talked about versus a Legion and Skywrath. With Keeper taking a lot of damage really already out of regen.
I think if this lane goes well for Liquid, this is how you could potentially win. Because I don't know if they win top or mid. That's kind of the concern right now. If bottom wins like really hard, then I could see it. But I don't think CM is excellent against Nature's Prophet, nor is Lifestealer.
Yeah. Kind of just right-clicking. We've seen it feels like Nature's Prophet's one of those heroes. Every time we see it, it's just like the most farmed hero on the map. Whether it's rotating or just split pushing, you always find farm on like a core Nature's Prophet.
He's doing a lot better mid than expected from the beginning. He just has to kind of be careful about the regen war that he might lose. But he's already brought himself another salve.
Like you said, look at these side blades. Oh no, Quake, but be careful. Oh, he's dodging, it hits him again.
Oh, that was really dangerous for him.
It was, and he brings up salve as you talked about. But once again, now he's out of regen and begins side bladed. So be a big deal in that mid lane, whether the CS is even or not. It's how much healing salves and tangos you're doing.
And Taiga gets pushed back. They're gonna ruin his Sal, or his clarity.
His clarity, and it looked like he wanted to actually pull away, but he gets pushed away and misses the attack on the neutral creep, so he can't pull it. Oh, S4 as well as bottom lane and top lane. Looks like S4 will just TP out. We freak out our reserve. Top, bottom, middle. Oh my goodness.
Check everywhere right now.
Hey, we'll just TP. That's the one good thing about Nature's Prophet. Guess what? You TP home and you TP right back. Simple as that.
And I think Taiga might go down. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Oh no. Nico Baby was barely out of range. Nico Baby gets in there just and this is so efficient. Like the amount of trading that Ember gets to do against pretty much all the offlaners just feels really good right now.
Yeah, especially with a Coddle on your team. He doesn't even have the chakra magic yet, and
it doesn't have any sort of way out.
Oh, he's right down. Yeah, and look at the tree. It's blocking him.
The wrong tree.
Oh no, and he'll go down because of S4 and hand skin. Well done at that top lane, and already S4 off to a great start.
Yeah, and this is again, I think, just a really free Nature's Prophet lane. Yeah. Alliance, of course, faint for their Nature's Prophet.
They are, time and time again. So
when it comes to net worth, middle's winning really hard. Like, even though the CS looks even, you have to focus on the actual net worth, because Koikoi has spent his last like 500 gold purely on regen. Yeah. Only on salves and mangoes.
Oh, Zibe down bottom in a lot of trouble. Right click the flying, but he will survive under the now he's actually gonna throw out a blast. Turn it around, Boxy. Really a decent amount of damage. And oh, Taiga. His bottom there's a lot of poking and prodding. You gotta be careful.
Taiga getting pinged right now. He's gotta be careful.
Oh, that blast gonna hit. Ooh, gets saved up by Boxy there. Now we do have the neutral. It looks like both teams pulled this one with all the creeps there. Top lane Hanskin did pick up that invis rune. Oh, misses the stun there though. Not sure they're gonna hit the kill anyways, but we'll just whiff it.
Yeah, so he just got, there's no way that it went for like an output or anything there.
Yeah.
It's just pure chance, honestly.
And with none, and that's the thing. Actually, the stun's harder than you think it melee range to hit if you don't have Aftershock. People don't realize Aftershock's like the thing that makes Earthshaker so good and so easy to hit all his abilities. Ooh, 5-minute runes, and we have both running for it. Not quite yet. Who picks it up? It will be Nico Baby, actually. Taiga taking a lot of damage. He will have a slide up again in 5, but Box just right clicks him.
Boxy's got to be careful. There's still chains available, and he's going to get chained up. He doesn't really have his purge yet. Press the attack just came back up, but he's also spending a ton of money on regen himself.
Yeah, 2 healing salves, and he has a Helm of Iron Will already.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty good advantage, I feel, laning phase-wise for Alliance. You can already see Limp is level 6. He's actually just crushed this lane. It was not close at all.
Limp doing TA thing with his TA, and even that Siege already pulling down on that middle tower. Hands essentially rolling through. There will be a stun. Yep, there's the trap. There's the second. You know what? I need some gold as well. Quick TP and actually insane. He probably won't die, but he's gonna eat a lot of damage there.
And all 3 heroes rotate in for this. And Storm is a really important hero for Liquid to do well. And so far, so bad. As this middle tower, I think, now there's a regen bottom for Limp too if he wants it.
It's gone. That's a 6-minute middle tower.
Yeah, and as a team that focuses a lot on controlling this mid tower, this is pretty big. And bottom it's doing okay. Like, in fact, they're winning, but they're not winning hard enough, I feel.
Yeah. And Foxy about level 5, but when does this, I mean, is it really just like this level 6? Is that when you become potent, obviously, right? With the duel and the ulti from Skyrath? Or should Skyrath think about moving lanes already, or does he just have to stick here and help him win it?
I think he's going to stick here and help him win it. Or he's going to try his best doing so. But Nico Baby has raindrops. He's going to get silenced here. Might just die. He's ready.
He uses them, right click down. No, they run him down, and there's a little bit of something needed, so you did lose that tier 1 tower so early. But top lane, Mickey, obviously he is the life stealer, so he will have that rage.
It's really just mid lane, though, that has gone absolutely terribly. Storm just picked bottle at 7 minutes, and he has no other items, no other farm. I don't know what his prospects are of tanking.
It's tough. It feels like you might just have to, if someone gets engaged on, you just got to TP and hope you get some golden experience from it, maybe.
And they're pinging towards Zibe here. But he's got vision up there already. And he's even going to D-ward for this.
Wow. We're trading heads. Everyone's just trading everything to the left. A lot of damage. See you later, Quick Bump. Man, we've seen that time and time again. This Nature's Prophet Ultimate does so much damage. Uh-oh. Handskin looking for Tiger. Tiger will just fly away, though.
And he just didn't see that coming. You could see that he was in the animation of getting his ulti off and just barely did not make it.
And that's one of the tough things, especially the Storms who you're playing against, like, these Earthshaker, even these Embers, right? They get these long-range disables on you, and you don't even see it coming.
Yeah, this is kind of the downside of like showing the hero so early. You can't just get counterpicked. I think laning phase-wise, though, this should have gone better for him. This was him just simply getting outplayed by the TA. Like, he caught 10 or 11 side blade hits in the laning phase, which is usually how you know whether you're going to win or lose your lane.
Legion does have that duel now, so we might see if they want to make a play with that, or if he will just stay in that bottom lane possibly. You got to always watch out because that's 4. He's ready to TP, and he is going for that blade mill build.
I like it.
I like it. And for intelligence here especially, right? 38 damage to 28
damage. Something to note though is like S4's levels aren't amazing.
Level 6.5 should get 7 up here. Mickey, he is the top net worth in the game, surprisingly, on his lifesteal at 4K. Doing a very good job of farming the lane and also farming the jungle.
Yeah, I just can't stress how farmed he is, though. He's almost level 9 already.
Oh, they're looking for the top here. He doesn't want to use Rouse here. Just get close through, and I don't think he can bring him down. Here comes Handy. Throws up the stun. He actually blocks it in as well. He's going to block. This might just be a kill. No, he jumps in quickly. Poikva flies away. The teamwork makes the dream work, and it looks like they'll make it out. Oh my goodness. Maybe not, though. They could continue to chase here, and Sanya's like, I'll do my best to defend you guys. But
3 seconds left for a stun, and they're chasing for this. Hanskin, he's got the angle if he wants it. I don't think they can continue to chase him.
Oh, wait. The Ember, maybe they should. He can jump out of Mickey. S4 TV's in as well. Will be Quakefoot going down. Mickey probably just going to run away and be okay. But they do end up chasing the Storm Sphere down. Bottom, they are looking. It's going to be Zig. It's just the duel. You just want the damage. Seems like you do. Tiger taking a lot of damage, and he's more than likely just going to die. Boxy, he does have press the attack. He's going to have to save it for that next chains, or he'll just run away with the shovel in his backpack off cooldown.
Yeah, he's just going to... He's okay. I think, again, Alliance is okay with this trade. Yeah. They don't lose the tower. It's only a keep of the light. You get the Skyrath Mage, who's the kill combo. Huskin's got to be a little bit careful here, but he does have a haste room, so... He's also eating the royal jelly, by the way.
Dang, he's like, nah, I'll be taking that. Yeah, him and the TA.
Nico Baby found it, and he gave it to his team. Pretty selfless.
Oh, it is.
I
should you as an Ember?
I don't know. I would take it as
an Ember. I'm sorry. You should, it's nice being a good teammate, but that's pretty damn good on your hero.
But I think the reasoning is you're going to always be the recipient of the chakra magic anyways.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Boxy will just purge it off, even dodges the running horses. And he will just pressure in that tower. Koikva trying to get back into the game top lane. And then this TA, the one we talked about now, the highest net worth, very close to a death, so only 1,000 away. And all of a sudden,
massive.
Roche is threatened, all your heroes are threatened. Pretty much the map, it feels like it closes when that item comes if you're on Dire. Foxy will just continue to keep farming. He did get that one dual victory, so a little extra damage. What do you do then if you're Liquid? We saw Quakefoot try to, gank top. It didn't work out very well. Do you just maybe group up, go for bottom tower? Or are you forced to just try to do this 3-man farm around the map?
I think as soon as Quakefoot gets treads, he should just fight. You are... the TA has doubled you in net worth. In fact, more than that. He has more than doubled you. He has like 400 gold on top of that. So I don't think he's going to get back into this game by purely farming. I think he just has to get like one item and just go for it. Because right now, the way that the game is progressing, I think you're just going to lose by default because this TA is going to hit such a good timing. Like it's 12 minutes in, she has 300 gold away from Deso, and she eats everybody alive. Like Steeler's going to die in like 2 hits. The Skyrath Mage has 2 armor. just for context.
You're getting 3 or 4 shots easily.
Yeah.
If not quicker. Bottom Zibe is going to TP out, so it looks like they might be getting up this bottom tier 1 tower.
Like when she hits him with the side blade, he's gonna have minus 10 armor on Taiga.
Decent amount of minus armor.
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit.
It's just a smidge.
Yep, smidgen. What Nature's Prophet does have the blade mill going for an Orchid's next. A full Bloodthorn he has queued up, by the way. Not even just the Orchid.
Nice timing for it is going to be really nice. They're going to need to get more items.
Smoke Top, Limp Handskin as well as the keeper of the line. They're going into the ropes. There's actually a really good report from Liquid. They were smoked up, and as for TP in, they see none of this happening. This is a slick play to Alliance.
Yeah, they definitely want to roach, but I don't think they can find it even there.
They will get that bottom tier 1 tower. So, man, that's the OG trade. The tier 1 tower. It's a tier 2, but
yeah, let's say 13-minute roach. She's almost got blink now. I think she's just going to chunk the ports left and right now.
feels like the TA could just, if we're on the same course 5 minutes from now, this could be a very good game for Limp, a great game.
Yeah, I think, if I'm honest, like, as a caster, like, I'll tell you, like, any game is winnable in Dota. But as their coach, I'll say, like, this draft was maybe not it. Because I just don't see how team fights are going to be won when you're this big of a disadvantage.
No. I will say the top, 2 of the top 3 now are on there. There's Bucket. They're actually it's on the 2. Crystal Lane might be the next one. Rampage in all honesty. Tiger goes down to Nico, baby. The creep, Nikkei. Goodbye. This is an absolute turnaround. This looks like last game, but the other team. This is an absolute beatdown right now.
Yeah, I think this is a much more turnaround from the Alliance. Like, they cut most of the other heroes, honestly.
And there you see the replay here. It looked like it, but the problem is he dueled. No one else hit S4 until the very end of the duel.
S4's not, he's not an easy kill, yeah. He's got wand charges, he's got
chainmail with the blade mail.
Yeah, he's got 16 armor. Like, how are you meant to kill this guy?
Unless you already have people on top of him, because the Skywrath ulti didn't come out quite in time. It was just a straight up 4 for 0, plus a buyback from the Crystal Maiden. And now the prop Boxy, level 9. Surprisingly quick, but it's level 11. But usually this TA level 14 with 8.2k net worth, Blink Dagger, and 200 gold.
Yeah, right now it's definitely Alliance's game to lose at this point. Because Liquid, they can't really kill anybody, as we've seen before. Nico Baby's hanging around mid.
There's going to be the duel, but I believe, well,
that's damage coming up.
Damage to Nico, baby. And yeah, Ember Spirit, he'll definitely be taking that.
What face?
Yeah, that was, wow.
What was that?
I don't know. I honestly do not know. Bottom, Limp's going to push in the tower. You go for the tier 2 as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think about honestly going for the base with this lead in the death zone?
I don't think that Liquid can hold you back, if I'm honest. I think this game is...
Siege units stay alive from the split shot, it will. Oh, no. Tiger gets it, throws down his ulti. Handskin actually does that enchant totem. Storm's going to jump forward. Nico, baby, one more right will be enough. He gets frozen in place. That's on the other side of things. Handskin trying to run away, trapped up by S4. They want to chase his Earthshaker. He already has them. And the box, he just dead immediately. There's the Aegis pulling them all in again. I don't know if your team's an early GG team, but this feels like it's curtains. They are at your bait. 16 minutes.
He's found him.
He did. He's in point. He has one more. S4. He's back, baby. Dancing on the haters inside the base, and he's out here. He's like, you know what? I'll go farm top lane. Y'all can push middle. And this is, wow, 15-2. It really is just the opposite of last game. You see the initiation, and you also see why Coddle might be a pretty good hero as he pulls in 4 heroes very easily. Such a good ultimate, and paired with the Ember, as you said, Ember becomes a 10 times better hero with that Coddle behind him. It's crazy.
Yes, he gets to permanently just jump in and out. Has like the searing chains pretty much.
And now TA flying out another mithril hammer. This now we're 10k at 17 minutes. Limp that performance. Boxy gonna try to defend, just pushes the creep, so they don't look like they want to go for the base play. Maybe if they get a peg up on line, so that's a pretty tough one. He got I don't think you even want to continue to fight. He's just running forward, has the agent. It's a double chain by Nico, baby, and it's a slaughtering. My God, they will take it. I don't blame them. That was an absolute ass beating right now.
Oh, 100%. But that was not close.
I mean, well, I don't feel just like I want to see it. Someone's like, I want to see a 3-game series. But it not be one-sided. Well, we're going to get 3-game series.
Yes.
But those first 2 games were just
Stomp. It's just stomp trades.
It is. It is straight up. It is going to be hard.
Gusto mo bang gumala? Libre kitang buraot ka. Wala kasi akong kasama. Lumabas ka na, putang ina ka.
Classified ads. Wanted immediately. Sales representative. Aba, parang congressman ah. Yung qualification. Must be single. Oh, that's me. I'm a bachelor. At least high school graduate. Exactly. I'm a high school graduate. No experience needed. Oh, it's me again. I'm virgin. Must be aggressive. Aggressive. Matapang ako. Also must be willing to travel. Aba, eto yung matagal ko nang pinakahintay. With pleasing personality. Ano sa palagay niyo? Walang yung buhay ito. Ito pala yung sinasabi nilang willing to travel. Tagilid na yung lakad ko sa kaka-travel. Special offer! Boss, special offer o. Mrs. Special offer ho.
Ano ba yan? Meron tayo niyan.
Mrs. Special offer ho. Special offer ho, Mrs. Mrs. Alis na nga ako. Special offer ho, Mrs. Special offer ho, Mrs. Mrs. Special offer ho.
Tuloy! Tuloy!
Uy, Mrs. Special offer ho.
Mrs. Special opera!
Aba, ang galing dito sa Maynila. Pati ibon nagsasalita.
Pangit!
Sino pangit?
Ikaw!
Aba, talagang hinahamon mo ako ha. Uupakan kita. Kita mo. Galit ko ba ng boses? Akala mo hindi kita papatulan?
Ano lang palit?
Hindi, ikaw ang palit ng boses.
Hindi!
Ikaw? Marunong ka rin magsalita?
Naglalagay ka ba ng tawas, kalamansi o ng deodorant sa iyong kilikili pagkatapos maligo? Nagsisipilyo ka ba ng iyong ngipin? Kailangan pati dila kuskusin, sinisipilyo talaga. Mag-uumpisa ka sa 3,000 ang sweldo kada buwan. Wala kang ibang gagawin kundi linisin ang kotse ng aking asawa. Himas-himasin mo rin ang mga manok na pansabong ng aking asawa. Kailangan paliguan mo araw-araw ang aking mahal na aso. Tandaan mo, ayoko ng trabaho marumi. Gusto ko malinis, entiendes?
Wag ko kayo mag-alala. Sanay ho ako sa mabilis at malinis na trabaho.
Mabuti. Kung ganon, tanggap ka na.
Kumakaway ka aking hilo, pagkat mabilog ang aking Lagyan ng 3 scoop. 1, 2, 3. Parang kulang. Ibuhos lahat. Ayan. Hayaang bumula.
Mama ko! Kamukha ko!
Magre-resign na ho ako.
Bakit? Kapapasok mo pa lang eh. Magre-resign ka na? Bakit? Ano ba nagawa namin sa'yo na hindi mo nagustuhan?
Yun na nga ho eh. Yun na nga ho, inaalala ko baka yung nagawa kong hindi nyo magustuhan.
Hindi lahat na ginawa mo gustong-gusto ko. Ang galing-galing mo, ang bilis-bilis mo, ang linis-linis pa.
Yun na nga ho eh, sa sobrang bilis tsaka sa sobrang linis, kaya ako magre-resign.
Bakit?
Basta ako magre-resign na ako, ayan ho ang aso ninyo.
Bakit? Jano! Jano! Jano!
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people. Tatakbo ang oras, ngunit may iiwang bakas. Pwede bang kalimutan? Wag na lang nating balikan. Ibig kong matangay ng hangin, lumipad mag-isa, tanggapin Huwag mo lang ulitin pang saktan, pagkat pag-ibig mo'y kunwari lang. Akala mo'y di ko naramdaman, lahat na may kunwari lang. Maglakad dahan-dahan, lalayo hanggang di matanaw. Isigaw ang
Both game 1 and 2 were total stomps. Gods and BSJ, maybe they have a better idea than I.
I'll have more of an idea once we see some picks.
I was about to say, I'll let you know in about 10 picks.
Okay.
Right now, we've seen both teams pull out a really good draft and a kind of questionable draft.
Why? BSJ as an
Let's welcome onto the stage our next contestant, 1024 from the United States.
Even farther behind in the draft, and then you look at your artwork that you've created and it's just a piece of crap. Okay, it really is that way to some extent, but like
I don't know what art classes you attended, but Gods, what do you think?
I think that's definitely part of it. I think also the other thing is just having maybe the wrong idea about why you won previous games. Like they go back for the CM Storm, they moved it from being like a 4th big Storm to a first 2. I think just they kind of look at that and say, hey, Storm's a really good hero. We want to make sure we get it and they don't ban it. But at the same time, the reason it was a good hero is because of when they picked it in the draft.
Did we not, I'm not saying like to toot our horn, but did we not predict who won that draft in the first 2 picks? Both games. And what I'm saying is how important your opener is. You have to get off to a decent start of a core strategy that's not abusable, that's gonna just do its thing. Like that's the thing. It's gonna set up a game plan that in the current meta is good. It's like the first draft, they banned Mirana, picked the Phoenix, and had like the good team fight going while the other team picked Chen. And we're like, we don't really like what Chen brings to this meta right now. It seems pretty bad. And then it's like, I don't know. It seems so easy when you're watching, but there is so much that goes into it. I'm not trying to say like, wow, these guys are stupid, they're just bad or whatever. Like I couldn't do any better myself. Sorry. I couldn't do much. I couldn't do any better. I said that wrong. I'm actually serious. I couldn't do any better myself. But it's just like, it's just crazy that when you watch the games and you're just like, God, that just doesn't look like it's supposed to work compared to what the opponent's doing. And you do out-mind game yourself sometimes in the draft, and I think Team Liquid kind of did that to themselves this game, and I think Alliance did that to themselves last game.
I think the one thing that helped both teams who won their drafts was that they had first pick as well. It kind of, puts you off to that kind of draft advantage where there's some heroes that second pick won a ban, which is the Coddle, I think, that everyone's just first pick and Coddle went in, or the Phoenix perhaps if you go back to game 1. So you have a draft edge there with first pick, and then you get to counter everything. And we haven't seen any wow factor 10th pick.
I think second pick is harder to pull off. It's not saying that it's worse. Like if you're both really, really, really solid in your drafts, I think second pick is fine. But the reason is that second pick requires you to have 4 heroes that are as a unit good and not that hard counterable, while first pick requires you to just make sure you account for that absolute last pick, but then just kind of counterpick them 1 for 1 as you swap throughout the draft. And it's much easier to counterpick what you currently see than to make sure like your own heroes are not countered by something left in the pool. I personally think, at least so.
Well, Liquid have gone from fedoras to walking canes.
Yes,
the hipster shit continues.
This is some business associate level of hipster. Almost certainly going to see a Wyvern. We haven't seen that very much at all, but I'd be pretty shocked if this is not a Wyvern response from Alliance.
Yeah. I think the one nice thing it does is it does push Alliance towards some of those, slightly less common supports like the Wyvern. Like otherwise, they could be doing something, you know, more to their strengths.
Doesn't really seem like much of an inconvenience.
Wyvern or Rubik, like, you're really upset about either one of those
you
heroes?
can even do both.
Sure.
I think the scary thing the Enigma might stop is a really good Timbersaw game for Boxy. You can secure his lane with the range creep denies, and if Alliance don't first do something that you're afraid of as a Timbersaw, you could just confidently perhaps second pick that Timbersaw, because that's been banned the previous 2 games. So this is the first game where that is available to them.
Wyvern seems way too good here. It's a counter to the black hole. It's a save for your Death Prophet. I hope whatever hero they pick, if it's not Wyvern, does sort of fit that description. At least one of the 2 descriptions. So it's either a counter to black hole or it's a save. So you could do like Rubik Oracle, meaning you pick Rubik now. And
yeah, Wyvern is too good. I'd be shocked if they didn't pick it. And then
at this point, I think you want to establish a threat to the Wyvern Cold Embrace, because...
So you want some magic damage.
Yeah, you want...
So that it punishes that hero for sitting there.
Yeah, you might pick like Mars now, because it's a stable hero, and then you pick like the Pugnas later.
You know who punishes that really well?
What?
Skywrath Me.
Oh, yeah! It does.
Run it back. Joking, of course.
3 Atos, baby.
This should be a Taiga Enigma, so... looking for Boxy or Insanius hero here, most likely. But yeah, I'm always down with the Mars when I see that Death Prophet. Any other like solo offlaners just because of the Enigma?
How does Lesh land against Death Prophet?
I have no idea.
So that is a counter, absolutely, to the Wyvern Cold Embrace.
And the Spirit Siphon.
That's actually a really good pick. I don't know how I didn't see that.
Makes plenty of sense, yeah.
Bit of a passive support duo, though. So you will need some stuns and some setup for the AA, and you'll need some low cooldown stuff to alleviate the push threat of the DP while you have an Enigma black hole cooldown. He's going to be much less about the black hole, I guess, because you are dealing with the Wyvern. Pretty unreliable to ever get a good black hole off as long as Wyvern is alive. So the 2 options are to get really late game where you get BKB Lincolns, or to pick perhaps the Storm Spirit again, something that is entirely intended to jump and assassinate the Wyvern.
We've seen Enigmas who just like forsake the protection entirely and go for more like teamfight aura items and Mech Guardian Greaves.
I'm pretty surprised they did not ban Spectre on the side of Team Liquid. I think Spectre is incredibly good versus Enigma, and it's incredibly good versus Ancient Apparition. So I'll be keeping an eye out for Spectre. They may save their last pick for Nico Baby again, but I also wouldn't mind if Team Liquid reveals their offlaner third, that Alliance 4th picks either Spectre or Monkey King comes to mind. These are the cores that I love against Enigma in lane as well as in game. And is there anything else? Maybe Gyrocopter, but I don't like Gyro into A. It's actually pretty tough because you always stand your ground and just get blasted.
Medusa's annoying to play.
Oh, Medusa. That's a great one. I always forget about that hero because honestly in NA you just don't see it at all. It's because we're too good for these AFK farming heroes.
Yeah, NA players, they don't just take creeps.
Yeah, we're too good for that.
For some reason, it works too well with our terrible playstyle that we don't pick it, you know? All right, they take Mars for themselves.
So that pretty much guarantees the Death Prophet should be going. I guess could theoretically be a 4th position, but it likely will be Nico Baby's hero for last on the side of Alliance.
I would be too shocked if they put it forward just because of the fact that AA is just so good against you. But
so you'd rather see it get kind of demoted in farm priority?
I wouldn't hate it if you picked do shit heroes here.
What's it that you have all of those stuns? Pango is one of the first heroes that came to mind.
Wyvern, though?
Yeah, that's a problem.
I like Wyvern against Pango.
I guess it's like, hey, who are you going to use Winter's Curse on? Because there's also an Enigma Black Hole to worry about, so maybe they're just thinking,
that's true.
Hey, let's create multiple threats for the Winter's Curse.
Yeah, he's going to have to be very smart about his Winter's Curse usage, because the minute it's down, Enigma and Pango feel much better in the fights. I have to imagine Pango will buy a Blink against these heroes. It's very hard to ever like swashbuckle in and proceed to use anything.
You've got ways around the Mars arena, both in Shield Crash and Rolling Thunder. And I think another important thing is what hero takes advantage, what hero can solo offlane, and also uses the solo experience, right? And I think Pango fits that pretty nicely.
Okay. I can get behind it.
But we'll see if he gets punished by the safe lane carry pick.
Yeah, I have to imagine that. Man, I still love the Spectre pick, and it's weird though because unless that's a 4-position DP, you're setting yourself up for last pick carry, right? So that's why. This Mars pick to me is honestly a bit strange. I guess you're kind of deny picking it. You're fearful that Team Liquid is most likely going to pick their 3 next, so you don't want to give them what would be considered the most meta offlaner in the game. But you're in this awkward spot now where it's like, we have a really good carry pick that we could pick here, but then we don't really have we're not going to last pick our 4, so they do go for the Rubik. Pseudo, we said Wyvern and Rubik, actually. We just said you could do both. So that makes sense. For whatever reason, I got mixed up there. But now you have the multiple ways to counter the Enigma.
I like getting either your support or offlane here better, or your mid here better, just because I think the Spectre is too vulnerable to what the remaining 2 Liquid heroes are. They still need to pick their carry, their mid. They could do a lot of heroes that can cause Spectre problems, like
Rubik
the
is really good
reflection, and there's plenty of counter picks available.
I don't mind what you're right. I agree with your sentiment there, and we had been talking about Rubik ever since they even picked the Enigma. So the fact that you're getting it this later on the draft is good. It's a matchup or lane partner with the Mars and
well, I wanted a hero that kind of ran at them and played frontline. I was thinking maybe a Viper, but Razor fits a similar story in that.
Against DP seems pretty nice in lane. Maybe putting it against Mars, but then you have the lift plus the spear to break the link. So I'd much rather it be mid.
We've actually seen Death Prophet do okay versus Razor mid. There was at least one game we had that matchup here.
But what about with 2 base damage less, gods?
True.
That swung the matchup. It's over.
Yep, it's done. I actually don't know. I'm just
yeah, I have no idea. And that's also a 1-game sample size that I recall from this tournament where the Death Prophet went kind of 50-50 with Razor mid.
It seems like a bit of a skill-based matchup. These aren't what you would usually consider mechanically difficult heroes, but I think both of them have similar issues. They can't really tank the creep wave, but yet they both have some trade mechanics, so it's like whoever keeps better lane equilibrium, better creep aggro, I think would probably win the lane. I think both heroes are capable of winning against each other. Ember banned out. Just another meta hero. I'm digging the Wraith King for Liquid. Something with a stun.
That's exactly. It just feels like they have no way to start a fight. Have a hero that actually kind of runs in and sets things up. Ember with the Searing Chains. Pingo has that ability to run in with his ultimate, but that's a longish cooldown ultimate.
Especially when you have Ice Blast, right? Like, you want very clear setup for this ability, because it could just as easily miss, and AA has no impact in the team fight. And
for sure.
I think the relying on only Black Hole and then maybe Rolling Thunder as a somewhat reliable stun is not it's not the best setup. You want a faster hero than that plays.
You definitely need a dangler right now. You just need a good old walk in there, as you said. Gods, you just didn't word it as elegantly as I did.
Yes, dangler. Very elegant.
The term not in my...
Oh, and the Spectre, yeah, it's really good ban.
I think that's where they banned basically they targeted Nikobe with 2 bans, expecting his hero to be last pick. So even though they knew Void was probably not going to be picked in the second phase, essentially they got to ban both Void and Spectre to prevent them being last picked.
That's why I'm surprised you picked Mars, because I really think you weren't getting Spectre last, and I think it's so good against a Enigma that you should be content getting it 4th, even if it gets slightly countered by the other 2 heroes. But needless to say, I'm sure they have something else up their sleeve.
Speaking of Wraith King, I can see Alliance loving it.
That's partially why I like it. That's partially why. And Yoik's stun. Looked like a safe lane Razor, mid Pango, and off lane Slardar is what I'm...
You sure it's not safe lane Slardar?
If they do safe lane Slardar, I will immediately pick Alliance to win this game.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's not, but I will immediately pick them to win the game.
I'm a fan of this Slardar pick. I think it gives them what they needed as far as the just low cooldown stun, set up for the Ice Blast, way to start a fight, amp up the physical damage.
Peel or... Oh, there's the Wraith King. Okay, so they do Wraith King. I forgot that hero was in the pool, because because we kind of just assumed. I thought it was. I called it for Liquid, but you're right. It is very good for Alliance here. You do have the link from Razor.
All right, BSJ, sorry, I can't hear from you anymore. It's going to be safe lane Slardar.
His prediction.
So, his prediction is in. Gods, you have the field now.
I was hoping it was going to be an offlane Slardar because I like Alliance's draft. I think the Wraith King is perfect for this game, even with the link in play. I think if Wraith King has a good game, gets his free farm, hits up the jungle, you know, I'm feeling it. Channeling my inner NA pub carry player, he's going to just farm his way to victory.
Yeah, Insania came. He woke up this morning. He took a shower, looked in the mirror, and said, "I'm looking cute today." And did it again here. And
you're still trying to make that work, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, Insania. What are you doing, buddy? Okay, good luck, Liquid. I think Alliance has it, but I'm glad to be wrong.
All right, well, cute in person, cute in the draft. Insania has a bunch of surprises for us in game 2 and 3. Didn't work out so well the first time. We'll go better in game 3. We'll see. It's going to be Grant, and Blitz, not BSJ.
Indeed, a game number 3, Alliance versus Liquid and the drafts. You've got Alliance running, I like to say, very, very meta heroes on the other side. Liquid mixing it up. We got a carry Slardar, a 4 Enigma, middle Razor. We got some stuff.
That's a really good.
I mean, who are you looking at? We see the odds right there. At this point, Alliance is more value than the freaking Great Value brand itself. Like, Blitz, would you agree with these odds?
No, I think actually Alliance might be a little bit ahead.
A little bit? Okay, well, what would you say, honestly? Because it's not like BSJ thinks this is a 90-10 draft. Where do you put it?
BSJ thinks it's a 90-10 draft. 75-20.
Well, he literally said he would never pick them. They have no chance of winning. So to me, that's 100-0. I was actually being nice with the 90-10, but what do you think?
90-10, huh? I'm not sure.
I mean, well, okay, so let's break it down then. What is Liquid's win condition here with this? Is it just, you know, get to the late game and you do have this black hole, you have this Pango, or you have to play fast because you have a Razor and Slardar?
I think you have to play really fast.
Really fast.
Slardar.
Okay.
Oh, they're talking to each other. Ready check. Some Swedish.
Indeed.
You know, I'll give you insider info on what that's about.
Okay.
For the past like 10 years of them like playing together, they ready check each other. Mickey and Hanskin.
Yeah.
So they're friends. They just like get in a party, and when they're in an official, they ready check each other.
Just to make sure. I like it, you know? It's good, you know? Friendly, even though, you know, sometimes, you know, these two Liquid Alliance, they have some beef over some stuff, but it's gonna be here, yeah, and it will be. Oh, Zibe.
He did
end up getting it up. Now he might be in a little trouble.
But that's for one top.
He did. Oh, Nico baby will come defend his friend. So yeah, it is going to be a 3 for. You're right. That was close to being a 4 for Blitz.
It was a click war.
It was.
The 4th one, which is pretty. Wraith King is such an interesting hero because I feel like he plays too slow in this current meta. But if he just gets the farm, I mean, he's going to carry this game. I feel like default. And I think a lot of Liquid's heroes get countered. Like, I think the Wyvern and the Rubik obviously counter the Enigma, but I think this Rubik is also very good against Slardar. In fact, all their heroes are bad against Wyvern. Aside from, like, AA. AA is obviously very good, but... Yeah, Pango is bad against Wyvern. It's bad for obvious reasons. You get a Black Hole camp no matter what. Slardar, because you can't burst. Rubik is really good against all these heroes too. Yeah. He has so many things he can steal. He can steal ball. He can steal the Slardar crush. He always gets the lift against Slardar too.
Yeah. We'll just see. In that top lane as they're dueling. And then bottom. So it is you say this Wyvern is great against all. It is a position 5 Wyvern, right? So it's going to be all about his positioning. We don't really have options to do stuff with. So we'll have to watch out for him. And then, Boxy is getting beat down. Obviously does have that swashbuckle. Doesn't want to use it because he knows if he uses it, his lane's just over for that cooldown.
And you can see Taiga just farming around this mid area. But this is something that I think Alliance should know is happening. It's actually coming.
Yeah. All right. And then middle lane. This was the lane that really got out of control last game, obviously, with that lane and TA just doing some crazy stuff. Will get held under that tower. Loses 30 damage here. Who favorite is this? I wanted to say it's Razor a little bit, but am I wrong in that?
No, I think Razor's favorite here. Okay. Just because when you're linking each other, obviously the damage hits a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird interactions where DP, for the most part, likes to do something, and this is like one of the few matchups where it doesn't really benefit her that much.
Let's 0-0, still 2 minutes in. S4 and Hanskin harassing out Mickey, but it looks like Insania will be able to get that free pull off. See if they want to try to challenge it up a little bit. Now Hanskin will roll over that way, but Insania defending that pull. The Enigma still just jungling boots first. Tons of clarity. Clarity seemed to, I will say, for jungling, there's really a level of middle. And here comes the little dude with the Eidolon. He goes for the block, but instead he's kind of just eating away a little bit of experience here.
Yeah, that does not go in their favor. Let me say, level 1 Eidolons and level 1 stun is not
bad.
Like, yeah, that's not a game changer.
Yeah.
Quite yet. I'd prefer to see Taiga just farm.
Yeah, get that greed. I mean, we've seen him, I believe it was the major a little bit ago when he had that crazy Enigma game. You know what he can do when he gets that farm. The key is getting to that point in the game.
Yeah, I just think laning wise, like top lane, I think is favorable for S4. Like, I don't think he can die here. You'd have to really mess up. Look at this. He just hits him back.
And is completely okay, as you say. Radiant structures fortified. Looks like pushing into the mid lane he wanted to. And Limp, yeah, diving that tower will sell up and down. Max Plasma field, and all of a sudden, Limp is going to get turned around on now the level. All of a sudden, it looks like it will be enough. Oh, yeah, gets them. That's a big one for them there, because you do commit a lot, as you say, with that Enigma, but now you can go back to the jungle, and all of a sudden, Quopa, he's feeling a little bit better.
And bottom lane is going okay for Boxy. So laning phase is all right. It's just, I think, mid lane is like they're griefing each other right now.
They really are. And, well,
look at this. You have one guy with 9 CS, one guy with 10 CS, and they're actually just like running at each other nonstop. No one's getting levels here. In fact, they're like behind each other when it comes. They're behind like their system almost when it comes to XP.
Yeah,
which is pretty like unheard of.
It is. We've seen that has been diving past the tower. The Enigma, you always have to be careful for. There is a ward now. Zibe just placed middle lane, so he has a little bit more vision of what's going on there. But Taiga is still just chilling.
It's almost like neither of them are trying to win like the lane.
Yeah,
they're just trying to ruin each other's game.
Yeah. Man, all that damage. Same Boxy, Nico baby almost just dies to that straight up swashbuckle.
I mean, this game is still very good.
Yeah, it is.
He's got the most CS in the game right now.
Yeah, what do you need? So what do you want to see him do? Do you want to see him go the Armlet Radiance? Because that's what it seemed like the successful play here in Europe was. Or do you think if you're farming this well, you do actually just go Radiance straight up?
Yeah, straight up. You can go phase boots into Radiance if you have absolute farm like this, and you don't die, especially here.
Ooh, they're going to try to dive Boxy. They don't want him to get all this experience under the tower. They can somehow bring him down. He doesn't have a swatch roll. He has a mango swatch roll. Will he get it in time? Oh, Nico, baby, with the backswing. Didn't quite get the attack off now. But middle, point run Limp once again, as you said, trading into each other top lane. S4 gets the spear back. AK doesn't get stunned. S4 doesn't go down, and everyone survives. Everyone getting so low in every lane. But no one quite dropping yet.
I mean, this is going to be a Mars that gets to play against a bunch of people that right-click him from the front. Like, this is going to be a really nice Mars game.
Their bottom is going down. It will drop up on the sword.
Some tits coming out. I don't actually know how that happens, honestly.
Yeah, the tower was getting attacked. The tower was actually destroying the Winter Wyvern. He went from like to 200 HP just eating tower hits, and then they just line up and box. I gotta say, nice use of the targeting there. This one currently in his game, well, might have just gone way up. Meanwhile, the AA top. Just getting right click, phase boots there. Insania will definitely be going down top. No, he gets bashed, he gets stunned. Taiga middle, won't be able to get killing. Okay, Insania makes it out. Mars now getting right click.
And he's got spear, he's got mana. They're gonna win this regen trade up at top. Like, this is favorable for Mars as it stands. And even despite the 3-0 kill score, in fact, The gold is still in favor for Alliance, so they're doing just fine. Yeah, there's even 2 bounty runes here that I think Zibe, if he sees this first one, he's going to grab the other one, and they'll get even further ahead.
Oh, and he's going to look at Taiga. Was actually
he's going to know, though. He's going to know that like neither of them were taken.
Yeah, that's nice for the side of Alliance. And hey, you do not see that bottom tower go down this early almost ever, right? You always usually see them rotate up top and take that tier. Does it really do anything losing that bottom tier 1 this early, or is it really not that big?
So that you can't counter rotate for a box, you can still. But that's like 500 gold that
it is a lot. It's just gold, yeah. And we see Foxy is trying to style on him now. He does have the I need to use it before he gets right click down. No, he just dies.
Foxy?
Question mark? Top lane, they're diving in. Mick. S4 just saying, I'll try that, but I can't really.
He's saying, I'm out of here, and the tips come out. I think Boxy should have had a kill, by the way, on Wyvern, almost certainly.
Yeah.
And instead, he kind of just gave up
a lot of golden. Dude, I think the one here you don't want to give him a lot of golden experience to in the game, right? It's slow pace. Is this Wraith King? Because he's going to just come online so much quicker with all that gold.
Yeah, I don't think you want to get to like 200 HP and then start rolling up.
And then get right.
Then he just got hit like that was the easiest kill I think Nico Baby's ever had. He actually just went
like, okay, cool.
That's free.
I'll take it.
Not terrible for Liquid. I think that top dive by Limp was a little bit unnecessary and a little bit too much. He like had a really rough game though. Only 31 CS, 0 and 2. His net worth is really rough right now. Like he's even behind the 4 Enigma. For context.
Yeah, very greedy on that. And almost level 7 now after this camp. Seems like Alliance wants to maybe pressure this tier 1 tower top. Do you like the Wraith King just chilling bottom and farming? Is that okay, or do you want him to kind of help out and push top?
No, you want him to farm like he is right now.
Okay.
Like the worst thing about Boxy's death at bottom is that it just gave him so much space and free gold.
Yeah.
And they don't really have anything now because they had to commit the Black Hole to top for this Wraith King to get pressured. Like he's already built up 1,800 gold, and he's gonna have very fast radiance. Like he has Iron Talon coming too.
Yeah, he just sent his Ocean Heart home. He said, "You guys can have it. Give me that Talon." 10 minutes is coming up. This feels like a pretty big game because it is the bounty. It's not just that; it is the outpost as well. And experience in a game like this, where we're seeing a lot of 3 to 4 man fights already. You want those supports to get that extra experience.
100%. We saw Alliance in game number 1 not take either of them. Boxy's sticking around. He likely has to give this outpost up. Yeah. The only way he saves it is if he's like right there right now and he pango rolls. Otherwise, I think this one is done and dusted.
We do see Quakevo is actually running down that way as well, but they knew Nico, baby, you're not trying to run into him.
No, it's not slick.
Yeah. So, on the other side of things, so Slardar, what do you? It looks like he's going for a hood on the safe lane. I mean, what do you need to go on this carry Slardar? Is it just going for these kind of mid-game items and you're just going to try to roll over them, or?
Yeah, I think so. So they're going to go on S4 top. I don't think he's going to die when he's in the tree line like this. And in fact, Onskin's going to come back. Yep. Bounty rune wise, Liquider's not doing a good job grabbing bounty runes.
Yeah, because look at if that's Zibe, it is. I looked on the screen like if that's Zibe stealing this for the 3rd time almost. He is owning up his winner. Why we getting a 10 team gold? Boxing will be on this.
That board is way too hyper efficient right now for Alliance. Like it's been there. It's spotted 2 bounty runes now. It sees the Razor farming, and Deathpuncher is slowly starting to catch up. He's got 62 CS to 50 over
top lane, possibly going for a kill. He will throw it up. Spear goes into the wall. He won't, at least for now, but he's dying to that midnight pulse. Taiga finally brings him out. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
And he didn't want to walk up and Black Hole, but that's also worth it for Alliance. You'll gladly trade the Mars for the level 7 Slardar.
And guess what? Well, you got to blink on your Enigma now, so possible big plays incoming. We'll see. Limp, meanwhile, just farming middle versus... But level 10 versus level 10 and 11, as you said. Kind of under level on these middles just because they're both playing this kind of weird aggression against each other and even rotating around the map. You normally don't see these heroes do that.
Yeah, but Alliance is winning pretty hard right now.
Are they? Okay.
I think because I think you have a lot of net worth tied up in your Enigma on Liquid, and I don't think he actually can carry this game. Like, there's a lot that counters him. There's so much that counters him. If he decides to go Lincolns, because there's 2 single target spells that stop his black hole, it's not amazing. Yeah. Right click. And so, like, even if he gets BKB, you're gonna get hold stolen. Like, you won't get it stopped, but you'll get it stolen, which is really rough. You have Wraith King, who I think is like, he loves these long cooldown ultis.
That's why he always picked against Chrono, right?
Yeah, Chrono.
Die once, you're back.
And they don't really have the best burst damage to take him down twice either. Like the Razor and his Static Drain. Yeah, I think they're losing pretty hard right now. Like, if the game continues, I think Liquid will lose. Just because of, by virtue of, like, their 3 cores having more farm than Liquid's 3 quarters.
We are just watching. You see the Wraith King. Yeah, that net worth flying up to the top. This is Wraith King. Where we at? Relic is purchasable, has 3.8, and he will. This is looking like about a 14 to 15 minute radiance here, depending on the skellies.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that Nico Baby loves. Like, the game is slowed down. His team doesn't need him to fight whatsoever. And he can just kind of sit and be unpressured and farm. And he loves it when he's ahead of the other carry. And if you just look at the sheer amount of farm that he has, he's got 2,000 more gold than Mickey. And importantly than that, he has so many levels above everybody else.
Having a good time right now.
And they're gathered around towards this bottom lane, but they don't have a tier 1, so no one can really TP.
Skeleton Sony will just fly away for now with that swashbuckle and make it out.
And they're smoked up in this side of the jungle, but they're not really getting anything here. Koikfa's getting a little bit lowish.
I got a question, since we do finally have our first Wraith King after. Wait up, we might have a possible fight. The Relic! Oh, he got the Relic barely. The chicken goes down, but he did get his Relic. Oof.
Yeah, but now they know they're all in the jungle. And they've wasted quite a bit of time here. Like, there's a time investment for just getting that courier that delivers the Relic.
Oh yeah, so Wraith King, right? One of the nerfs to him was the skeletons don't last 90 seconds anymore. It's 60. Is that a big deal, or do the skeletons normally die before then anyways? I didn't know about that. It's kind of a weird nerf.
I think it's pretty good. It's making sense so that they can't just go for like tier 1
forever.
Baby, but they're gonna whiff pretty hard.
Yeah, as you said, they're trying to bring him down, but it takes 2. Because he's almost level 20. He definitely doesn't want to skill his ult. He's like, yo, let me at least get level 12 on Wraith King, then I'll think about doing stuff.
And S4 is really happy right now because he knows that there's been this big rotation towards this top lane. Mickey is going towards bottom, and I think if Alliance wins this fight, if they end up taking this fight on the side of Liquid, I think they might just win straight up.
Start rolling over.
Yeah. Because this fight's pretty important. There's a Arcane Rune on Taiga, but he's going to get out of here now. And during this entire time, S4 is just farming top. Out-rotated, I'd say.
15-minute rune, then he spears him away, gets the bounty rune. Liquid will get the bottom 2 this time, so the Winter Wyvern not sneaking his way over this time. But they will get the counter ward here. That big one, you said this is kind of where they've been playing around because they had vision there. Well, no longer. So what are the plays that Liquid needs to make? Because clearly they don't have the late game. We can straight up say that right now. Maybe if crazy black hole, but Slardar against Wraith King,
they really rely on all this game. But I think this game actually comes down to Liquid. The black hole has to be huge, and he has to fulfill a lot of conditions. He has to not get it stolen. That's one. He has to.
Will be here very shortly. Feel like that just shifted it. You said they need to win a fight, and they didn't. Alliance 3-0 in that one, and a tier 1 tower.
And he's got Radiance, and they've got mid tower. The mid tower that Liquid wanted really bad it's just going to be taken by Alliance. They're all just going to come up here. You see Boxy just
he got shredded by the DP. The melee range of DP, and she summons a ghost. He will immediately attack you. Yeah, dive, get that kill on Insane, and even Nigo is like, and I'll take the tower.
Denied mid by Taiga.
It's a little bit something, actually. They were 2K gold now. Only 1K, and you deny another chunk of gold there. But as you said, we got to see what this first big black hole can do, because it seems like Alliance might just push top lane in.
I just don't think that Slardar is going to outcarry Wraith King. I think that Death Prophet is also stronger. And I think the two supports from Alliance counter. Like, as long as, again, Hanskin's only job in this game is to steal black hole and not get black hole himself. If he does that, this game's really straightforward for them. Yeah.
Pupil's Gift picked up there by a Lamp Hill to get 13 strength.
There's a reason why I think Wyvern and Rubik works here. It's because Wyvern will always be able to stop the black hole
and you'll always
with the curse, and then during that time he can't cast anything else, right? Yeah. So you're